Hello students, hope all of you are doing great at home, keeping yourself safe in this pandemic situation. So students, during our last class we had discussed simple distillation and fractional distillation, both we had discussed student, and in today's video student we'll discuss the separation by chromatography method. So students, in chromatography, the separation of the substances is based on the fact that every substance, that is solute especially, will have different solubility in given solvent. Any solvent, if you take student, if we are taking different substances, definitely their solubility vary. Their solubility are different from one another students. So due to the difference in rate of dissolution, different solutes move through the stationary phase at different rates. Stationary phase student, in this chromatography, stationary phase is that strip of filter paper actually. So at different rates. So students, here the individual component in a mixture separate according to their movement through the separate stationary phase. So this one will become very clear student when we will discuss the to separate the dye present in black ink student. So student, in this experiment we'll discuss that is different colored dyes present in black ink can be separated by performing a paper chromatography experiment student, which we will discuss in this now. So student, for this one, first of all we'll take a paper strip student, a strip of filter paper, and we have taken a rectangular strip of filter paper. Then we'll draw a line using pencil, and after that student we'll put a black ink at the center of this line, and we will after this we'll let it dry student. And when it will get dried student, so after that one, so when the drop of ink has dried, after that student the filter paper strip is lowered. Slowly we will lower it into the glass jar. This is the glass jar, and in this glass jar some water is there. And student, in this situation we'll have to keep in our mind that it should be lowered in the water, but student, in this situation we should take care that this line should not touch the water. This paper strip only should touch the water, but this line should not come in contact with water. It should be above the water level students. And then the students, the water gradually rises up. This will start rising up, and the filter paper strip by capillary action, you might have seen, suppose at home also sometime what happens, if you have hang a cloth in some hanger, and by chance the one end of the lower end of the cloth, if it has come in contact with water, so slowly the cloth will get wet. So why it is? Because it is because of the capillary action students. Because of capillary action it gets wet. In the same way here also this paper will get wet because of capillary action of this paper, and due to which this water will move in the upward direction. As student, as water moves up the paper strip, it takes along the dye present in the ink, and the dye which is more soluble in water dissolve first, and rises faster student, and produces a color spot on the paper at a higher position, and less soluble dyes, student, dissolve a little later, and rises slower than and form color spot, no, at a lower height. And in this way, all the dyes present in black ink just get separated from this original position. So students, now when the water reaches near the top of the filter paper strip, the paper strip is removed from here. We remove this from the jar and dry. After drying, student, the paper with its separate color spots is called a chromatogram. This one after drying is known as chromatogram. And student, the chromatogram obtained by using black ink in this experiment has 3 color spots on it. You can see, this means that the given sample of black ink has 3 different dye mixed in it. So now students, will discuss, if we have understood this one, so what and where this chromatography is used. So for that one, we'll discuss the applications of chromatography, students. So application, what are the applications of chromatography? And that 1 minute, it is yes, some application of chromatography. So it is chromatography is used to separate solution of colored substances, student, colored substances, and it is also used in forensic science or forensic lab to detect and identify little amount of substances like poison in the contents of bladder or stomach. Sometime you might have, if you have seen the CID1 serial used to come, student, in that serial actually many a times, that is the Pradyumn and so many Abhijit and Daya were there. They generally they use this word forensic lab. The sample will have to be taken in the forensic lab, and in forensic lab they used to detect that because of what this person has died. So in forensic lab also this chromatography is used. In chromatography, actually the sample of blood is taken and then it is allowed to do this chromatography, and then which substance are present, they used to get separated. If other than the main component of blood, if anything comes, so they detect that the death of this person is because of that new substance which is present in the blood. And after this student, after this that is yes, next is, it is also used to separate small amounts of products of chemical reactions, students. After this student, we will discuss the purification of an impure sample. Purification, see here, let me adjust it, and yes, now we'll discuss, student, the purification. This purification. So purification of an impure sample of crystalline solid. Actually students, the purification of an impure sample of crystalline solid like copper sulfate, potassium nitrate, sodium chloride, etc. can be done with the help of technique which is known as crystallization. We can understand this better by taking one example, students, and let us discuss one example. And for that one, student, we will discuss the, see here, let us see. In this situation, student, here let us apply this technique for the purification of an impure sample of copper sulfate which is blue in color. and it contains some suspended impurities of sand, mud, etc. So for this one, take about 5 gram of the sample in the glass beaker, and to this add 20 in another beaker. Will take 5 gram of the sample, and then 20 ml of water will be mixed and will stir it with the help of glass rod for 5 minutes or for long time, so that it will dissolve in water completely. And after that one, we will filter the solution through a filter paper, and the particles of the impurities will remain in the filter paper, and then transfer the filtrate only in the china dish and place the china dish on a sand bath. This is sand bath, student. Actually that means the container which contain sand in it, that is known as sand bath. And then after placing this china dish on sand bath, we'll place this entire arrangement on Bunsen burner, student. As you can see, this is Bunsen burner, so as shown in the figure. And the dish can be heated directly also, but student, the sand bath provide uniform heat to this, and moreover the dish may even crack on direct heating. If you heat directly, it may get cracked. So, and water from the dish, student, water from the dish slowly will start evaporating. It will start evaporating. So it will evaporate, and when the volume of the solution is reduced to nearly half or slightly less, to remove the dish from the burner. We'll remove it from the burner and place this dish on a glass beaker full of water, and then leave the content undisturbed for about half an hour, students. Then beautiful blue crystal of pure copper sulfate will settle at the bottom of this container in this dish, china dish, and after that one we will decant the aqueous layer and transfer the crystals which has formed in this dish on a filter paper and dry them carefully with the help of filter papers, because the filter paper soak whatever water content is present in these crystals. So thus, student, we can do this process. Okay, students, after this it is for tilt it is okay, and after this, student, we will discuss crystallization. Why is crystallization better than evaporation? On this topic in our next video we will discuss. Thank you for watching this video, student, and stay home, stay safe.